Xiangsheng or crosstalk is a form of stand-up comedy that has had a following in China for nearly 2 centuries. It was also popular for a time in Taiwan. In the 90s, new forms of entertainment made crosstalk gradually less popular, but one group of young men hopes they can instill new life into the art form. They incorporate modern topics into the traditional art form, hoping to gain a following among today's youths. Let's hear from the troupe on their passion for the art. Here's our Sunday special report.
要是反击大而整齐就更奇怪。咱再试试，来。哪个精神病院放出来的？
准备了，打板就唱。
For most people, mention of Xiangsheng, also known as crosstalk, evokes images of history and old-school tradition. However, one group of 5 men is making crosstalk relevant to modern crowds, with topics ranging from modern tech to political affairs of the day. Even Cambodian job scans have been included.
我正好找你呢！我跟你讲，我刚刚才接到一档演出啊，一段15分钟能赚30万，有这种事儿？有啊！
从年轻人的视角。
Talking about issues from a youth perspective using young people's language, talking about things that young people care about, those are things we have a consensus on. We want to make crosstalk for today's youth.
噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔噔，等一下，别走，你这是抖音神曲，
我这是抖奶神猪好不好？别演了。
其实我觉得很简单，就是从我们自己的生活去出发。
For us, it's really simple. We start from our own life experiences. For example, when we were younger, what we cared about most was dating and hanging out with friends. Today, we talk about things that happen in the workplace or what we encounter on dating apps. We also might talk about politics, tech, and things like TikTok.
喂，欢迎拨打到洪子燕跌打损伤医院，请问你是断手、断脚、断肋骨还是断头呢？
Crosstalk is a form of artistic expression using language. It looks easy to execute, but it takes hard work to master its 4 skills: speaking, imitating, singing, and teasing.
我们以前都笑说
We used to joke that crosstalk performers need only a mouth to perform the art. However, what people who enter the industry discover is that the instructor will require practice of tongue twisters, rhythm, and drama skills, and there are lots of tongue twisters involved in crosstalk.
绕口令有很多种啊，就是针对你发音的缺陷，去设计绕口令。对，然后说一平。
There are many types of tongue twisters, which are designed to take into account issues with your pronunciation. There are also training exercises for controlling your nasal sounds and training your retroflex sounds.
或者是800标兵奔北坡，北坡炮兵并排跑，炮兵怕把标兵碰，标兵怕碰炮兵炮。
长虹为了专队转，转为专队长。行了。我唱一段，我没听过。
Without gorgeous scenery or exquisite props, crosstalk performers must rely on their mastery of language to make the audience laugh. The members of the Einstein crosstalk troupe are an average age of 24. Their shared mission is to bring back the dying art of crosstalk.
相声在台湾发展已经很多年了，那其实从我们的老师开始就一直在探讨说，怎么样让相声在台湾落地生根。
Crosstalk has already gone through many years of development in Taiwan, starting with our instructor who began exploring ways to help it really take root here and to pass it on to our generation. We don't just want it to gain more of a foothold, we want it to strike a chord with Taiwan's youth. We want to try expressions that young people use and then incorporate them into the crosstalk lexicon. This was a major trial for us.
Crosstalk dates back to the Qing dynasty during the reign of the Daoguang Emperor between 1821 and 1850. Originally, it was performed by street performers as a way to make a living. The art form later grew popular with the masses in China. In the early days of crosstalk's introduction in Taiwan, the best-known performers were Wei Longhao and Wu Zhaonan, who later became known as the forefathers of crosstalk in Taiwan.
吴兆南、魏龙豪上
In 1985, a crosstalk performance directed by actors Hugh Lee and Li Li Chun titled That Night We Performed Crosstalk became an instant sensation. In 1988, actors Feng Yigang and Song Shaoqing established their own crosstalk theater where elements of stage plays were incorporated into crosstalk performances. However, with the growth in popularity of television programs and movies in the 90s, crosstalk slowly fell by the wayside. Then, in 2005, Taipei Chu-yi troupe director Ye Yijun injected new energy into the performing arts when he established theater classes for children.
我大概是我看2005年、2006年开始做这个。
Sometime between 2005 and 2006, I set up a workshop and started training children. They all grew into actors from that workshop.
你有那么高吗？飞机打我腰边飞，人造卫星打我脚下过。我高。
5 children from different households became students of crosstalk, training in the art form all throughout high school and university. In 2020, under the encouragement of director Ye, the 5 young men established their own crosstalk troupe.
因为那个时候很多人看他们的表演然后就觉得怎么搞的叶老师你身边的
Lots of people came to me after seeing them perform and said, "These young men are all tall, good-looking guys. Why don't they get out there and establish their own troupe?" At the time, there were no other all-male crosstalk troupes in Taiwan.
这个相声
The Einstein Crosstalk troupe combines traditional crosstalk with impromptu performances. Whatever topic an audience member brings up, they will have an improvised exchange on that. Nothing trips them up.
欢迎试乘新款智能汽车，我是您的智能驾驶 Elucity。什么？一路向西。
The troupe does stage performances and commercial events, and even makes short videos to share online, letting it reach its audience anywhere and at any time. The troupe's members draw inspiration from their daily lives, and since they started in 2020, they've performed more than 100 shows. In their efforts to grow interest in crosstalk, the 5 performers give it their all, from administrative matters and publicity to stage assembly and details of their performances. They handle everything, all while seeking opportunities to expand.
我们也曾经在小剧场里面演过，就是
Once did a performance in a small venue where there were about 10 people watching. They were all close friends and relatives of his, and none of them laughed.
Unfortunately, dreams can't put food on the table. This is something all artists and performers come to realize.
养活我自己可以，我住的房子就是永远就是可能。
I can support myself with this. My rent is always between 8,000 NT and 10,000 NT per month. It'll never be more than that. However, crosstalk has never had a big audience in Taiwan. If someone were to come to me today to learn crosstalk, I would tell them to think twice about it. I tell them that it may not be possible to earn money doing crosstalk in the future, so they should think carefully about it.
他可能没那么容易赚大钱，但是也不至于饿死。对，其实反正市场是有需求的。
You may not make a lot of money from doing crosstalk, but you won't starve to death. Actually, there's a market demand for it. It's not just the stage performances, there are commercial gigs too, at smaller companies and large corporations. They need crosstalk performances. They need comedic performances like this for events, annual banquets, and other special occasions.
得赶紧做个自我介绍啊！对你得告诉他你是社工。我说阿妈，我是迄个社工，我是迄个社工啊，社工啦，社工
Discovering innovation in the classics and bringing tradition to the forefront, the Einstein Crosstalk troupe pursues their dream of sharing this art form they are so passionate about.
这相声一步一步给我的成就感跟快乐，会让我想要自己尝试去创作。
The sense of accomplishment and happiness that crosstalk gives has encouraged me to try to be creative with it. I'd like to open a bigger venue for it. I'll never stop practicing.
我们比较幸运的就是，即便它是工作，但是我们对它有一些热情。
What's fortunate for us is that even though crosstalk is our work, we have a passion, a love for it. When we're performing crosstalk, we're happy and we're enjoying ourselves.
表演艺术这件事情啊，本来就是需要。
The nature of performing arts is that they require affirmation from the audience. When you buy a ticket to a performance, you're giving the artist that affirmation. If there's no audience, there won't be any performing arts and no outstanding artists.
Through their passion and innovation, the Einstein crosstalk troupe has changed the face of this art form and brought it to a new generation. The troupe members hope that they can keep crosstalk relevant for years to come.